at today, but I want you to look at this table, not so much for its beauty, but its historical significance. I doubt we're going to go across this country and find many turntables, first of all, especially of the age that we have here. This table is so old, in fact, built in 1916 by the American Bridge and Iron Company up in Ambridge, Pennsylvania, that when it was first used after being manufactured, delivered to Macon, Georgia, used by the Central Georgia Railway's locomotive repair shops and their maintenance facilities, it was non-motorized. You had to turn engines by hand. We have a 25 horsepower motor that we'll be using in a few minutes. Now, how in the world do they do that? Let me explain this first. The table itself, which is part of the weight you're pushing around, if you're doing it by hand, is 80 tons. It's about 130 tons of steam locomotive. So we're talking about those two weights together. Think about that. An average school bus weighs 13 tons. A space shuttle without its payload fuel is 70 tons, not even as much as the turntable. They have about 4 crew to get it done effectively. 2 on either end, obviously based at each one of the corners there. Holes extending a little further out. And as long as they got the weight of whatever locomotive they were using balanced over the bearing, the ball bearing right here in the center of the table, 6 feet in diameter, it was in fact possible to get to use a 25 horsepower motor. Thank goodness. But if we don't, I'll need at least 2 of you. So if we have 2 here, we'll need 2 of you. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this turntable was eventually, after being originally installed in Macon, removed from Macon and reinstalled in Cedartown, Georgia, Polk County, just south of Rome. Smaller operations, branch line operations there by the Central Georgia Railway in Rome. Eventually, Southern Railway absorbs that right away into their system. They make some modifications, changing it, merging away, diverting those operations. And here we have the turntable left abandoned. We were able to be contacted as a museum, salvaging the table, installing it here, begin using it on the 4th of July 1982. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, locomotive 630 built in 1904 by the American Locomotive Company, in short known as ALCO. At its Richmond Works in Virginia, this locomotive was manufactured as a K-class 280, which is commonly known as a consolidation. Now, anytime you read about or view the description of any steam locomotive, you're going to see a prefix of numbers. It could be a 210-2, which is a much larger locomotive, 282, which is our 4501, built in 1911, and 630 being a 280, simply referring to the wheel arrangement. You count wheel arrangement based upon wheel set, 2 or more things that look alike. So you start the front of the locomotive and work your way back, counting those sets. Those are your lead or your pilot wheels. So there's the set of 2 on one axle. You start counting driving wheels. Larger driving wheels, set of 4 on both sides, that's 8. And 0 underneath the cab as far as pedaling wheels are concerned. This operated on the Southern Railway's Murphy branch, which where the Great Smoky Mountains Railroad operates much of their right-of-way today. And in fact, the Great Smoky Mountains Railroad has the only other Ks-1 consolidation left in existence. We have the 630, they have the 722 sister engines, and they are currently restoring it. They're going to convert it to an oil burner, whereas ours is still coal-operated and literally hand-fired. We have a crew fireman shoveling the coal in from the tender to the firebox. Now, about 1952, the 630 had finished its career with the Southern Railway, and it was purchased by the East Tennessee and Western North Carolina Railroad and renumbered 207. In later years, in the 60s, the Southern Railway decides that after a few generations, steam locomotives are pretty popular still. And in fact, there's a revival, nostalgic feeling. They start the mainline program with steam. And they swap a couple of diesel locomotives to that East Tennessee and Western North Carolina Railroad to get 722 and 630. One of those diesels they swap for is right over here, 109, in Central Georgia, which is really neat that we have both of those engines. So we're going to line the turntable up with track 2. What that's going to allow us to do is pull right by your coaches on track 1. They're going to literally get to the other end of the Chattanooga yard, hand throw the switch. We got it lined up for you. They're going to take it off track 2. We're going to go to the other end. He's going to throw the switch. He's going to line him back up with 1. He's going to back up, recover. Now, part 2, listen very closely. If you want to see and follow me over to that tall building, you're needing to wait for me down there at the walkway. Don't cross over. Right there where the pole comes to, that last pole there with the lights on it. As soon as we get clear of the crossing with our engine, I'll take you over there. There's a fan inside there, a little air movement, a lot better than nothing. So let's get our 630 off the table, clear of the crossing, and I will meet you down at the end of the roped off area of the walkway.